Okay.
I'm an idiot. Welcome to Drop Gears. I was muted. Nice. I love it. Anyway, welcome to Drop Gears. I'm Chris982, and yeah, we have two special guests today. Not Import and not Lime. Instead, we have the Chroma guy and Pally, and also hello Shorty. Yeah, why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Do we go alphabetical order?
Sure.
Is me. I'm Chroma. I'm streamer guy, Volzy player for a long time. Been in Evo since 2018 January, I think. So been a while. Yes. That's about it.
Yeah, and I'm Pally. I play Trackmania for a bit less than a year now, and I joined Evo in the start of this year. And at the moment, I'm also doing a Dirt Weekly that started this Monday, and I mainly just play on the Dirt server we have in Evo.
And Shorty.
Wait, I have to introduce myself as well?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm Shorty. Done.
Thank you. And disclaimer as always, all thoughts and opinions expressed on this podcast are our own and do not reflect that of Evo Esports. Okay, let's get on with the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have a few topics here today. We have the very quick TMWT recap. Stage 2 has started. And yeah, FUT Esports won the MEA regionals. Surprise, surprise. And Damascus won the NCSA regionals. Surprise, surprise. Okay, that was your recap. Let's get... No, I'm kidding. There's a few things we need to talk about in regards to TMWT. Especially the NCSA regionals. Yeah, Lingo played on a Sunday. What a surprise.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
No, it's funny, you know, because in stage 1, yeah, Lingo's always like, oh, I'm working on Sundays, and this time around, the one time he gets matched up against Evo Blue, he suddenly can play. It's a bit match. You know, I'm a little bit match, but it's alright.
I mean, it's understandable. I mean, you do obviously wonder a little bit, was that intentional or not? Was it just a coincidence? But either way, obviously for Evo Blue, that's bad news.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, they did well on day 1. Struggled a little bit against Air White. Lost that match quite convincingly, actually. But crawled their way back through the losers bracket today, too. And I have to say, huge props to Beat and Spoder for their first competitive match together. They did quite well.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch regionals at all, I'll be honest.
I only spectated day 1 and obviously the match they lost, and then I had to do other things, but I heard that Trolla ended up getting eliminated in the finals against Damascus Gaming, so probably a deserved win from them against us. I mean, they basically drove Beat and Spoder into the ground. But yeah. What?
So Lingo can't play Sundays usually, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting that he still like is full trained every single time, even though he...
I mean, he's cracked in matchmaking. He's like, what, top 5? I have no clue.
I think he was a crack player in general.
I mean, that he is, yeah. Yeah, but he was conveniently sick this Sunday, so that was interesting. Let's actually see. He is currently... Where is he? Lingo. What even is his name at the moment? I have no clue.
Yeah, that's the thing with Lingo. It's kind of difficult because his name changes every 30 days. It's like he has a timer. Oh, I can change my name again, and then he changes it. Like, literally.
I mean, when is Chroma not tired? Good. That's the other question.
Like 5 hours after I wake up, and then I have like 2 hours of being awake, and then I'm tired again.
He's top 19 now. His name is MT89AI Parks, apparently.
What?
Yeah, I have no clue. We need to have Lingo on the podcast at some point and ask him about these nicknames.
Yeah,
I
we have
really
to
wanna
go
know.
through a list of all his different nicknames and ask him for every single one. Okay, what does this mean? What does this
Ah,
mean?
hell no, that's
Wait.
not a that's not an actual link. Ah,
There
hell
is
no.
an actual website for that? Hold on.
There's a
I
link.
need to see this.
Nah.
Nah. No chance in hell somebody made this.
Wait, it's Scrappy spelled backwards? Someone is saying that.
Oh, that's smart. Scrappy 98 TM backwards. Okay. Who made that website?
Why is that smart? It's not smart. it's
No, that-
useless.
I
I mean, it's
mean,
just gonna encourage him to continue, right?
it's not
Well,
impersonation if it's
yes.
backwards, right?
True.
Yeah.
It's
I
less
mean-
impersonation than Elcon 20 and 22.
Elcon 19, Elcon 22, yeah.
I mean,
Big
to be
fan.
fair, backwards is kind of cool, so it's plus points for that.
True.
True. Ooh.
It's yeah.
It is cringe. I agree, Snippin. It is cringe, but oh well. What can you do? Yeah, I guess that's it for the... Oh no, we have one more news regarding TMWT. I almost forgot. We did announce a few lineups. The wrong image. Yes, we did announce a few lineups. However, we have to now rescind one of our announcements because Speedy and Vortex, they decided they were not going to go through all the struggle with TMWT regionals, especially because they're kind of useless on stage 2. And they said they're not going to play after all. So Evo Orange, not going to happen. Sadly. But yes.
Sad but understandable.
Yeah, I mean, it's their decision.
Yep.
So,
Which
yeah.
means Evo Black is now our main lineup. Congratulations,
Oh, no.
Chroma.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
better not disappoint on Saturday.
We questionable.
Questionable.
Sadly,
Great.
motivation has not been at the highest point. The
Yeah,
maps are
I get that.
What do you mean that you're the main lineup? You have to.
the main lineup.
You're representing us. You have to go full ham.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you
Might
have
not be the case this time around.
you have about 36 hours to full train and grind your ass off. Yeah.
Listen, I'd do pretty good if it was control only. That's like the map that I've.
What
put the
about
most
speed?
on.
You're a full speed player. You should be good
Fuck
on
off.
that map. Okay. You don't win Evo crumbles. No. We have a backup plan. You know, with Nitrophane and Scarperp, Evo White. I think the two Frenchies are gonna do very well as well.
Is the Evo Pink name like reserved if we get another crack team together, or
No, I don't know. Actually,
just no one chose it? I guess.
No one chose it. No.
Fair.
And there was still a slight possibility of Evo Pink surviving one way or another, but that didn't pan out. So, we sort of had it reserved, but now up for grabs again. Yeah, there was a slight possibility, but yeah, we haven't heard back in that regard yet, and I doubt it'll happen between now and Saturday. So yeah, we can officially call Evo Pink dead. Yeah, Nitrophane and Scarperp, they seem motivated at least. I think they're gonna do well. They've been grinding matchmaking together, they've been doing scrims, doing all the good stuff. And, yeah. Could be interesting. That's not all you're gonna see of them. I mean, EMC is... Wait, is it starting this or next weekend? Seeding is this weekend, right?
Yeah, seeding is qualifications this weekend.
Yeah, so EMC is gonna happen. And, Evo will have 2 lineups in that as well, yes. We're getting close to our 50 competitive lineups. And, yeah, we do have some more news in that regard. Competitive news, but that's for later. Nothing to do with TMWT.
Is there
Yeah.
still one more lineup?
Yeah, that's Evo Blue, the one we already talked about. That's Speed and Spoder in NCSA.
Okay.
Yeah, that's you, Scott Perp. Look at that. In in white.
Yo, we have our main lineup player here in the chat. Nice.
What do you mean? Where's Cenas? Huh?
Listen, I'll gladly give them the honor.
Okay.
At least for a few, maybe
Yeah,
this
sure,
this stage.
Sure. But yeah. Evil Orange is no more. They'll focus on EMC instead, and yeah, White
Yeah,
will
kind of
be
makes sense.
White will be our main lineup.
Since we're already talking about TMWT stuff, there's
Yeah.
maybe something worth mentioning because Schweine im Racing with Ratchet and Barbers are
Oh
stepping
right,
down from
yes.
TMCL.
I completely
So what?
forgot about that. Yes, they are.
Yeah, and the main reasons is that it's just that they just don't have enough motivation and it's just not worth it, which is pretty understandable, to be fair.
Yeah. Basically, Barbos said they don't have time and motivation to play, and yeah, that's why they are quitting.
I didn't watch the video, but I would guess it's like
haven't-
mainly. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would guess it's mainly because there's like not this clear path to TMGL anymore.
Oh no, the thing is, from what I heard is that they're playing Wednesdays and Thursdays as well now, and Barbos can't do that because he has like a full-time job.
Okay.
Yep.
At least from what I heard, there's gonna be like matches during weekdays. Don't ask me where I heard that, I forgot. Was that in the old book? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. Exalty is back in TMGL because Mint didn't want to play them, apparently. Rozzy and Tricky said, well, they would have gotten back together if they were to play TMCL, but they didn't want to play against Exalty, so they just gave them the slot.
Wait, I didn't even know that. I just knew that.
Yeah, so
I did just what the fuck?
Yeah, so
Why would
Rozzy
you-
and so they have been offered a match, Mint versus Exalty, and they would have had to train the maps for that. And apparently they don't like the map, they don't like matchmaking, and so yeah, they didn't want to do that just to eventually or potentially lose the opportunity anyway to play in TMCL. So they just said nope,
Yep.
we're just abandoning. What did Speedy do this time? I don't know, Forever. What did he do? Tell me.
I mean, Schweine im Racing doesn't disband. They are just not gonna play in TMCL anymore. I didn't watch the video, but they are gonna still be a team and do team stuff. I mean, they did. Apparently, they did this fun event that Trilux sometimes does with his friends, where they build basically troll maps or shit maps, not quite intentionally, but semi-intentionally, and then do a tournament on that. Apparently, Barbers was building the maps this time. And other than I don't know if they are playing EMC or stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you'd have to watch the video for that, and I also didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if they're sticking together, that's nice. And I think they're also playing EMC together. If I'm not mistaken, they play for...
Probably, yeah.
Aren't they playing for Shift? I think? Yeah, Shift.
It would make the most sense, yeah.
It would make the most sense,
Yeah, I think they're playing for the main Shift lineup. And Ama got relegated to the second lineup, which is fun. But yeah, I guess let's get into the next topic, which is delays galore. Lots of delays happening recently.
Delays? What are you talking about? Nadeo and delays? Huh? I've never heard those two words mentioned in the same sentence.
Yeah, so there's a few things. We haven't been on in a while, so probably other people already discussed this or you already heard about it. So we'll just go into this one. This is a tweet from the 18th of April. I'm gonna read it out. Florentius asks, when is matchmaking 2v2 happening? And this is in response to Derek memeing under the Trackmania tweet about maintenance. Well, Derek has started and since stopped memeing about, when console release stuff on Twitter after he got called out like a bunch of times. And yeah, so they were asked matchmaking 2v2 question mark question mark, and then Derek was like focusing on consoles right now. Then I came in, saved the day for everybody interested. No. I basically asked why they originally promised the January 21st for 2v2 matchmaking, and it's now getting delayed for months with no new ETA. And Derek surprisingly replied that they promised it way too early, and that they had it planned and all, and then they sort of got surprised that console was a much larger workload than they anticipated. I decided that 2v2 matchmaking was less important than a good console release for Trackmania. I mean, who would have thought that porting an unoptimized game to consoles would be this hard of a challenge? I don't know.
I mean, I think maybe the reason why they expected it to go smoother is because they already did it, and it's not like I mean, it's still the same engine that it was with Turbo, so maybe they expected it to be easier, but they ran in problems. I mean, I don't know, and we will probably never know, but how is this not communicated again? Like, oh yeah, well, we're just not gonna do it and not gonna mention it, and maybe people forget about it. Like,
Yeah.
what plan is that? Like, just own up to it. If you can't make it, you can't make it, obviously. But at least communicate properly about it. Like,
And the worst part is, like, I asked Softy repeatedly on the Trackmania Discord, and I got, first it was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be at start of stage 1, and then he said like, yeah, early February. And I let 2 weeks pass, it's like February 20th or something, and I ask him, hey, how come that there's no update on this, He's like, well, excuse me that we didn't talk about this, that we didn't tell you that it's been delayed yet again. Like, I don't... Basically, blaming him that they're not communicating. Like, what? Yeah, I don't recall the exact wording that Softy used, but he basically said, oh yeah, he doesn't have time to communicate a change every time it's happening, even though that's literally what they should do, especially when it's about something important like this.
I mean, I agree that it's not Softy that has to do it, but
No,
someone from the tier
yeah,
has to do it,
exactly.
because someone has to be the community manager, or I don't know, guy that communicates things. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just communication, sadly, is as bad as it always has been again. Like last year, the communication was pretty decent, to be fair. It got better, I mean, it wasn't great either, but at least they did communicate about things a lot better than they used to. And now all of a sudden we are back to square one, where communication is basically zero. So that kind of sucks.
I mean, there's communication. It's just false communication, no? Like, they kind of promised that they will release it soon, and then just like I'd rather have no information on that, and not be hyped for it, and it's gonna come out next week. Am I gonna be able to train original TMWT format and stuff, and then just delay without communication? I'd rather just have when it's finished, they announce it.
Yeah. They just have bad time management, apparently.
Okay,
I don't know what
I
else the
found the
problem is.
wording, actually. So on 8th of March, I said, why do we constantly have to ask Softy for updates on 2v2 matchmaking? Why can't Nadio just go ahead without us having to remind them, admit, hey, sorry folks, we dropped the ball on this one. I have to delay that feature until we have more time on our hands on it. And he's like, sorry, Chris92, I forgot to mention that 2v2 was still a high priority for us, but that due to console development, it is delayed and that stage 2 remains our target. Obviously being sarcastic, as I believe it was communicated at least 3 or 4 times since January. If you expect us to keep you updated every week regarding the current state of the development, sorry, you'll be able to complain about it for months. Yes, there's a few things that can be improved when it comes to communication, but please avoid trying to find things to complain about when there's no reason to do so. And then he posted some more stuff, but yeah. Basically saying, hey, yeah, this, stage 2, right? And then here we are at the start of stage 2, or past start of stage 2, and then they're like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, we don't know when. And yeah, to continue the tweets, Derek is basically, I was basically saying, will release with the console release at least. It would be cool to have 2v2 available on launch on consoles. And he's like, nope, it's not finished. We're not even sure after all that it's a good thing to have 2v2 for new players. 3v3
Yeah,
allows...
that's even better.
Yeah, 3v3 allows for more mistakes. We're thinking of having 2v2 only when you're on the TMWT maps. Just an idea, nothing concrete. And then a little bit more arguing from other people where Vortex says 2v2 allows for better queue times and overall better matchmaking, which is better for casual and better players. And then Derek is like, no, it's not better for casual players, that's the whole point. It advantages being regular over team play. I'm like, ranked matchmaking isn't for casual players to begin with. It's meant to be a competitive mode. You shouldn't jump into it with the intention of just having fun to begin with. If you want that kind of experience, you need an unranked queue instead. And then, basically, people kept discussing, and yeah. So, Wasabi has a question in chat. What's the reasoning behind 2v2 being worse for new players? Because in 3v3, you can be carried by 2 other players, while in 2v2, you'll at most get a draw out of it. If you suck. And your other teammate carries you. While in 3v3, you can basically bottom frag, or be last every round, and still win the match by having your teammates be first and second all the time.
Guys, I have a pretty interesting solution. How about we just, instead of making ranked 2v2, which apparently, is going to take some time, how about instead we just change TMWT to 3v3?
Surely that's going to go over well with the teams who already had to agree to pay now 2 players instead of 1.
Oh, no, I'm just joking. I don't know. It's I mean, you already said everything, I would say. I mean, your comments are just on point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Actually, while we have Pally here, you're one of our casual team members. What is your thought on matchmaking? Would you rather play 2v2 as a casual player or 3v3?
For me, I don't really mind either of those, but I think 2v2, since that's always also in the highest up, it just makes more sense to have 2v2 than 3v3.
Yeah, I feel
I
like...
don't really mind.
In my opinion, having consistency across the board and getting people used to the actual ranked mode that is going to be used in competitions and stuff would be worthwhile, even having that for beginners.
Yeah.
That's just...
I imagine if I were a beginner and I would see the pros play 2v2 and I would get Trackmania because of that, for example. The people that... There are obviously going to be people that get Trackmania because they are watching TMWT and find it interesting. I would obviously want to play the same way the pros play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you have a really big community, the best case is just to have every single even 1v1, 2v2 Rocket League, for example, right? But if you have a player base where you can't really justify multiple queues because queue times will be way too long, then you just do the same that the pros play on. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and having 3v3 only for 2v2 only for TMWT doesn't resolve the issues that we're currently facing, which is that people in gold, even gold 2, sometimes even up to gold 3, still get matched with bronze and silver players, even though they shouldn't be. The matchmaker still prioritizes matching times, or queue times, over actual fair matches. Yeah, you see, master players even get matched up with silver, and then they're stuck playing campaign maps, but frankly are not made to be played competitively. And then you have to basically know 35 maps, because you could basically get all of the campaign maps, plus the 10 TMWTE maps, if you want to have a good seeding at the next regional. A regional, mind you, which doesn't even guarantee you playoffs for a TMCL, and only sort of makes you qualify for World Cup or the wild card for that, which I have no clue anybody even wants that. TMCL was literally the main appeal of OGL and now the regionals, right? because people could
Yep.
get into those pro teams. And now we don't even have that for stage 2? Just World Cup? I don't know.
Yeah, it just makes no sense to play. Kinda.
Nobody gives a shit about TMCL? I don't think so forever.
I think more people care about TMCL than World Cup.
Yeah, that's my exact thoughts. I would rather qualify for... Personally, I would rather qualify for a league play than, a one-off World Cup where I may or might not be eliminated in the first round. On TMCL, I can at least potentially get a team or have a team that sponsors me and stuff. Oh, of course, it doesn't mean you go pro.
Yeah,
I know.
Things are just so weird in Trackmania. I don't know. I
It
just
is,
feel
yeah.
so sad talking about it because there's just.
It's
I
the
don't
same thing
know.
as always.
Yeah, it's just got better, but it's just all weird in so many ways, and in so many ways things just are not as good as you would hope them to be. Like getting into Team CL should be a goal for even for players that are far beyond ever reaching that. It should still be something that people would want. Like having a team like Schweine Aim Racing that is that they got top 3 in TMCL.
Yeah.
The fact that they drop out of it because it's just not worth it for them, that's just kinda a failure in my opinion, Like
I
that's
mean,
just
supposedly they only get paid in Dr. Pepper, right? From what I heard?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the fault is fully by Nadeo there. Obviously, the fact that they only get paid in Dr. Pepper is maybe also, a reason why it's not worth it for them to invest the time if
Yep.
that's all you're gonna get out of it. But it still should not be something that even can happen. Like it's just really sad to see that the top team dropping out because the league is not worth it. Like, what does that say for people that are not the top teams?
Yeah. I don't know. And Snacks brings up an interesting point. Do you think if a third party would take over or add to the pro scene, would it be better?
What does he mean with third party?
Like a third party company that isn't audio. That just say, hey, we've thrown a bunch of money at the pro scene. With proper maps,
Oh,
no identity, not identities. Would it be
so they
better?
wouldn't be the sponsors; they would literally own the league system. Is that what you mean?
Or just
Because
a
that's.
just a competing circuit that just says, Audio, we don't care. Here, we
I
give
mean, we
out 50.
literally talked about that sometimes already.
Yeah.
Just why don't we just do our own circuit? But it's easier said than done, obviously, and
Yep.
it also got to be worth it for you to invest that time into Trackmania yourself. So I don't know. It would be amazing. I do think if someone would be willing to do that, I think that would be a good thing for Trackmania. Even if it wouldn't be a competing circuit, but just a third party like Snippen said. But
Snicks, not snipping.
Snicks, oops. Yeah, but I just don't see that happening. Like, do you really
Um,
think that that would be worth it for someone?
I need to go AFK for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Super sorry.
I mean, making a competing circuit may be an idea for someone. I could see someone be like, yeah, we're hosting tournaments here and there, and we see Trackmanias coming to console, and we see TMCL and World Tour, and we're looking at that, be like, man, this game has so much more potential than this. Let's do it. But it's so unlikely. It would be amazing though, but maybe would be a good thing, definitely, right?
I mean, let's
Competition can never be bad, right?
let's take for example EMC, right? Record number of signups so far. Over 550 players from what I heard. That's what, 50 teams or so? Which is insane.
Yeah.
If not more. Yeah, 550 plus players signed up for a third party tournament that doesn't even have that big of a prize pool. It just has good maps. It has a lot of good competition, and it's being run well. Which, you know, compared to other tournaments, is already a big plus in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. And that's without console players, which we have no idea how many there would be. But technically, you would be able to host tournaments also with
You
console
can
players.
easily participate in EMC matches with console. It works. You just need to use an audio room instead.
Yeah,
And
and that works without issues.
Yeah, that was also something we're looking for Dirt Weekly to have it in, like, in their rooms, so
yeah,
console
we're
players
gonna
can
we're
join
gonna
that.
talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. Yes, there will only be audio rooms on console. I'm aware.
But Nadir rooms are enough for quite a few things. Like basically, a lot of tournaments nowadays run using the Trackmania, the
Oh,
Nadeo tournament create software things, background stuff you can use. I don't know how to name that because
okay.
that tool is pretty powerful, and that also just runs with rooms. So hosting tournaments where console players can take part in is not gonna be an issue at all.
I mean, yeah. And what the gun is saying, apparently EMC isn't even providing match servers, so most teams are just gonna use audio rooms anyway.
Teams competitions in Trackmania never provide I
I
mean
mean,
at least
FMS does.
okay, but events like EMC never did also before that.
Back in like CPS, like the earlier CPS days, you had a bunch of ESL match servers as well.
Oh yeah, ESL did that as
Yeah.
well, but that ESL was the only ones. And
Okay,
they also
I
stopped
didn't know
doing
if
that at some
CPS
point.
still provided those or not.
I
Game2
don't think
most
so.
comps
At
didn't
least
provide servers either? Okay, good to know.
like during my era when I started with Trackmania, even ESL already didn't provide match servers anymore, and all the other events definitely did not. So every team had their own servers. Every team had like a server guy, more or less, or
Yeah, fair.
rented it somewhere.
Yeah.
That was the norm back then.
I mean, it's good that Nadia offers it now, and
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's pretty nice, even though you need to pay $30 a year, which is still freaking
It's
cheap.
fair. Yeah.
Freaking cheap. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about more delays, shall we? There's
Yeah,
not only the
speaking about
2v2
delays,
matchmaking, there's also the console release. Let's just go back here. So yeah, I don't know if you're aware of like all the rumors that went around recently of TM releasing on consoles sometime this week. I think it started with some PlayStation deals website saying that that the game was going to release on the 2nd of May. That obviously didn't happen. We also had Ubisoft China, or was it Ubisoft Shanghai, announce that it was gonna release on the 4th of May. That never happened. And we had several online shops say that the Xbox version was gonna release on the 3rd of May. That also didn't happen. However, turns out 3rd of May probably was the planned release date originally. Because late last night, somebody figured out that they had access to the release client on Xbox. And they were one of those people that downloaded the game through the mobile app, which is doable. But I'm not going to reveal the method of how it works because I'm not 100% certain of if it got fixed yet. But basically, somebody messed up and forgot to change the release date to which is now supposedly the 11th of March. So today in a week. Yeah, some people already have access on Xbox, and Nadia wasn't too happy about it and was scrambling to find the source of the leak, so to speak. And yeah, certain someone named Chris92 told them.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, so
And
only
I
7.
got 20 downvotes on Reddit for saying that I was gonna forward it to the devs. People weren't not happy about that.
Snitching really mad.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Let's see. How many downvotes am I at now? Yeah, minus 20. Here it is.
I mean, it's kind of deserved, but it's also funny.
Basically asked them if this was, blah, blah, blah. And then, oh, minus 21 now. Thank you, whoever just did that. But yeah,
Probably forever.
probably. I love you too,
So
forever.
you're saying it's only one more week for the when console comments on Twitter?
Yeah,
I can't
supposedly.
wait. And also Reddit. And also everywhere else.
Yeah, supposedly.
Advertisement 10 out of 10. Like,
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean,
Wow.
now at least we know why they haven't reported, or why they haven't given us a release date, because it would have been wrong if they were honest about it. And now they can say, yeah, we never announced it, because we weren't sure.
I mean, still, even if you don't announce the release date, you could still maybe have like some kind of trailer or like some I don't know. Like the sad what really sad for me, or kind of annoying even, being on Twitter the last couple of weeks, especially starting the week or the days where Source 2 came, like Counter-Strike 2. And you could literally see the comparison every single day of how well the advertisement for Counter-Strike 2 went compared to Trackmania with the when console. The next day, when console. Meanwhile, the hype for CS2 just went higher and higher, and yeah.
What
it was a little-
advertisement? Because they didn't do any either before they just
they
dropped.
didn't.
They shadow dropped
but-
the website, but it was leaked for like 3 years that it was coming.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they didn't have to, Like, that's the difference. Like, Nadeo didn't advertise at all. CS2 also didn't advertise themselves at all. But, the difference is big because it worked amazingly well for CS2, but Trackmania is just nothing happens.
I mean,
it's a different game though.
Yeah, of course. But I'm just, but still, of course it's a different game, but that's kind of my point, the fact that Nadeo just have to do it differently. They have to announce it somehow. They have to do something. They can't just do nothing and
they're gonna shadow drop it the day it's gonna release. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. They're gonna say, hey, you've been asking us when console release happens. Well, guess what? It's out now. Yeah.
Yeah, like they did with all other Trackmanias before, where it worked amazingly well. Imagine, remember Lagoon? Remember Mania 4? Remember Trackmania 2020?
2020 was announced for a while, though, that it was coming out.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like all over news pages.
It was announced. Trackmania 2020 went well, actually. True.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
They even had Lando Norris stream it on Twitch and then rage quit after like an hour.
Yes. I mean, they did. I mean, they contacted a lot of influencers and stuff like that to stream the game and promote it. That worked well. But for console, they did nothing so far, which is a bit sad. Maybe they're gonna do something once it's released to maybe get some hype for it again. But right now, there's just zero hype, and that's sad to see.
Well, there is hype.
I mean, it's not zero. There are some people waiting for it, but it's annoying me seeing those comments. I'm annoyed by them.
I mean, Nadia is clearly annoyed by them too, because they're memeing like crazy about it, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah, but that's not making it better. That's just making it worse. To be
honest. Of course they're making it worse.
If I see a Nadeo employee trying to meme something away, I'm like, what the fuck am I seeing? Like, that's never gonna work. That's so cringe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get that they are annoyed, but that's not how. That's not really fixing it. Like a public normal statement may be an idea, but not memeing about it.
Yeah. Then we had the series of Hylas tweets, by the way. Which also,
Wait, you do want to talk about it now?
Just a little bit, because it fits into the delays thing. So, okay. Hylas is apparently back at Nadia, and he's been tweeting about Trackmania a lot in his usual cryptic, Franglish self. And he was basically apologizing for the poor state of the current campaign. And then also explaining that delay was the reason of that, namely the 150 millisecond average response time on TVs. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, experts.
I feel like there's been around 5 statements, like different reasons why the campaign is like that is.
Yeah. Because
And what
nobody
do you
I
telling
heard
think?
it was
because
What
nobody's
do you
telling
think
the
about
truth.
those, though?
Because
was it Aibo who said that everyone just built the same thing unintentionally? That was
Yeah.
like
that was Aibo.
a very interesting one.
And I think the
Yeah,
only one that said the
definitely.
truth was Hylos, because he put his thumb down yet again, and because he's Hylos, he had to have everything his way.
Well, to be honest, though, the only I don't know if it was Hylas or not, because that's not he didn't really specify that it's
No,
been
he
his
literally
idea
said
or not.
he said I asked
Oh,
for
did,
it. He said
oh,
that on Twitter.
is that the one I definitely read all his tweets, but maybe I missed that one.
No,
But
he definitely said, yeah, I asked for wide open roads, and the only regret that he has is that it wasn't communicated early on, and that there was no variety in the end of the campaign. But he definitely asked for those wide open roads.
I mean, to be fair, roads being wide open, I don't mind that. The missed the the missing variety was the main thing that all of us agreed that was really bad and missing. So, if we really only specified and wanted wide open roads, then I don't really mind too much. I mean, we all know the result, and the result is pretty, yeah, bad. But other than that, I just laughed when I saw the comment of, yeah, you have a higher, TVs generally have a higher response rate, so it would be more difficult. Like, okay, not really. Like, does
It's
that
not
matter?
that bad.
That doesn't really matter. The thing is, for other games maybe, but for a game like Trackmania, I feel like you don't even notice those kind of delays of Trackmania, because Trackmania is kind of, how do you phrase that? You don't Trackmania isn't a reaction game. You don't have to make any fast reactions or split second decisions. That's not what Trackmania is. Trackmania is kind of, you kind of plan your route. You know what's coming. You know what you're gonna do. It doesn't really matter if in my muscle memory I have to press left a little bit earlier or a little bit later because the delay is higher or lower. Like, sure, there are definitely certain things in Trackmania where having a higher input delay is obviously bad, and high input delay always is bad, but it's just not that bad, right?
W is
Do you agree?
saying, if you play for fun, maybe. If I have any delay, the game feels unplayable. But see, the
Yeah,
thing
but you
is,
would
W,
get used to it if you would.
exactly. You're
That's
used to
what I'm
not
saying.
having any delay. If you already start the game with, let's say, 110 milliseconds delay, and you just get used to it, you're just gonna get used to it, and you can perform at that level. It's the same thing of playing CSGO at like 120 milliseconds ping. It's not great, but it's doable, and you can definitely play well if you're good at the game.
So kind of the same thing like as 6 years versus 144, right? If you're on 6 years and you never change, you
Yeah,
don't
but
really
that
mind it,
difference.
right?
Yeah, but that difference is really is definitely very smaller than the input delay of 100 milliseconds. Like,
Yeah, not true.
obviously, like that is a pretty hefty one. Like, if one of us would play with that, you would instantly notice it, but we would still be able to do decently well. And especially if you start the game with that and you're used to it from the very get go, it's not going to be good, of course, and you would obviously still try and remove that. But it's, in my opinion, I think that's not a good argument for making the roads wider. I don't think
It's
that
not at all.
matters for that. Yeah,
I think it's completely like
it's kind of like saying, yeah, playing Trackmania on console is way more difficult than on PC, which considering there was the beta test, and I don't think the people beta testing had any issues with being worse than on PC, is kind of already, speaking against that idea.
like just because there's that very few amount, I would guess like few amount that will have a slight disadvantage because they play on a worse monitor or like TV or whatever. Just because of that, you change the whole way that like the core of the game, the campaign, the seasonal campaign, is like shown, you like distort the whole image that new players get of the game, right?
Yeah.
On show it from
I
the
mean,
best
that's-
side, you make it worse just because a few people have like a disadvantage, like a small
Yeah,
one.
that's. I mean, we pretty much talked about that when we talked about the campaign, right? That it's just kind of definitely the wrong direction, and the idea behind that is just completely wrong and just not good for the game, in our opinion, right?
You know what would be good for that?
Yeah.
Like getting people into the game.
You mean a training campaign?
No, the
proper
new
one?
Trackmania handbook that's finally out.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I of course mean the training campaign. Yes, which they have also delayed since March of 2021. By the way. Yeah, that was promised by Hylas on March 28th of 2021 that they would look into a better new player experience and training campaign.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's what he meant with making campaign maps completely different. And
Yeah,
why not?
sure.
He never specified that they wanted to change
Mm-hmm.
things in a different way.
No, but the
Nah,
thing
I
is,
don't.
they have the
The only-
opportunity. They have exactly what they need in the game to get people used to it, and they still refuse to update it. And it's just mind-boggling to me. Instead, they would rather commission a bunch of people to make a shitty campaign, and whatever else they're commissioning.
I mean, what I don't understand, you make the roads wider, and then all of the maps have such a weird and shitty and difficult and bad end. How does that go together at all?
They
Still
already
expression.
fixed them again forever. They already fixed them. It was a bug.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
builds got fixed in this patch. The update that was.
I'm gonna butt in here. Scuzzle was not hired for the mapping team. He was hired to replace Phoebe and like her management duties with like player reports and stuff like that. But yeah.
There's one thing actually that I wanted to say about the highest tweets.
Sure.
That's why I mentioned them before we went live. One positive thing, which I know that most people are probably not gonna see that as positives, but for the very first time, I felt like that Titus properly, phrased things in a way where we can understand it. Like it's always the communication with Nadeo and players has always been a little bit weird. And obviously, I think at some point I already said that I had a certain disagreement with Hylas also about something, and I just disliked the wording. But in those tweets, like some of them, I think it was two of them, I was really happy about the way he phrased things and the way he kind of acknowledged that it's their fault. And the main thing that I really liked was this no negative attitude that we always kind of meme about, and that was the thing. Like that was not in those tweets at all. Like there was one tweet where it was the exact opposite of this no negative, where he specifically said what I always wanted to read at some point: "Yo, guys, we can understand your feedback, but maybe think about the way you phrase it." Like they never said that, and it always was about that. I was happy about reading that from him for some reason. I don't know why. Because nobody of Nadeo never phrased it like that. They always just said they just left out the important part of we are still considering it, but maybe you could phrase it nicer. They never said that. It always annoyed me.
I mean, he literally, yeah, so he, as you mentioned, he talked about, being respectful. And somebody was like, why the F-bomb are the maps this bad? And he's like, good example of disrespect. Thanks for the illustration. Respect is more important than maps, and judging without knowing is wrong. Wish you will apologize. I just did on the maps. Always hope for a good outcome. And then Hylas, I have to say, this is my favorite tweet out of all of his tweets ever. He was like, if you say your post was not disrespectful, I say our campaign is good for experts and ice lovers.
Sorry, experts.
Yeah, sorry, experts. When's the console release, Arno? Good question. Probably
No one
next
knows.
week. Probably next week, but we don't know.
Yeah, but you gotta agree, right? Like, that's not how the Hylas from 1 year ago would have did it, right?
No, Hellas would have just straight up blocked you or banned you from the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was happy about
Yeah.
that. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's just the small things that sometimes make me happy as well. But yeah,
Yeah.
just something I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, oh well. But yeah, it is what it is. Not much we can do about that. Let's talk about something else. I want to talk about something else. Do you guys want to talk about something else?
I want to talk about something positive.
Positive.
Mania positive, maybe?
Mania
So not the
positive.
settings menu.
How's that gonna work? Hold on. Where did I save this?
I mean,
Did I
we
even
could talk
save it
about
anywhere? Oh
the
no, I
Dirt
had it on
Weekly
a.
Not maybe
Huh?
Dirt Weekly, maybe.
No, close enough. I mean, we can talk about that right after. But we have this to talk about, which is the new Evo competitive lineup, and it's not what you guys may expect. Not even a Trackmania team.
Pug.
Yeah, we're now in Valorant. Also. So yeah, we now have a Valorant team. We wanted to have Ven on here tonight, but he sadly couldn't make it. And
Maybe another day.
maybe
After
another
they
day.
won their first match.
Yeah, maybe another day. Yeah, so Ven came to us with this idea of launching a Valorant lineup quite a while ago. And now we have 5 new players. Well, 4 new players. Gwen, Kaz, Vitina, and Bas. I have no clue how to pronounce their names. But they're a new Valorant lineup together with Wen, and they're gonna compete in Valorant's new in-game tournament system called Premier. And also gonna see some match commentary for that.
Is there some kind of league you can advance to if you're doing well in
so you
those in-game?
basically you can qualify to like international tournaments and LAN tournaments through all of that. If you
Yeah, I watched
perform
what
well
it was
enough.
earlier today, how it's set up. And you sign up for like a league and then you compete twice a week.
Yep.
And then there's a playoff at the end of it.
Yep.
I thought it was just like Clash and League. I didn't know it was like
It
that.
is, but
or,
it
Yeah,
like,
explained
you
it
can.
like
From my
longer.
understanding, you can qualify to VCTs for that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I think so, at least. Where is it? Valorant Premier. Why is this in German? No. I want the global
Did one
open
of
beta
you ever play
FAQ.
Valorant?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you have a playoff tournament, and then you can like qualify for something. I have no clue where it exactly says that, but there's like a video about it where they explain everything, and yeah, that's where Evo Valorant will be competing. Well, we
Also, the
discussing
graphic
Valorant,
is-
not XCD question. Just got here because it's an Evo podcast, and we talk about Evo happenings here as well. It's as simple as it is. Arizel.
The graphic is a banger. Gotta
Yeah.
add that to them.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Droxy
sick.
made a sick teaser graphic. I agree.
Yeah, the graphic structure is making it just so sick. Like, holy damn.
Yeah. And you're gonna see more graphics like that. Oh yeah. Thank you, Snakes, for linking that in chat. But yeah, that was just a quick excursion to a different topic. And
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how they're gonna do in
Yeah.
the matches.
so am I.
I'm
And we're also
Other than
probably gonna open up a new Twitch channel soon for Valorant gameplay.
I was about to ask if the matches are gonna be streamed.
Yes, that is the plan, at least.
Hmm.
Who is Droxy and what dirt do we have on him? Droxy is one of our 2 new graphics designers that we have since April, I want to say, end of March, early April. They've been doing a bang-up job on our new graphics, like our new Twitter banner, this one. Live every Thursday. Surely every Thursday, right? Totally not delayed.
I mean, to
Oh,
be fair, the last
God.
couple of weeks were kinda unlucky with things happening.
Also, why is
Yeah,
it that weekly? Every Monday. Hello.
yeah. We have any streamers who touched Valorant before? No, but we can find new people. Also, thank you for the raid, by the way, Carp. I totally just noticed that. It didn't show up in my chat. Really mad. But yeah, Third Weekly is back, and we had our first edition on Monday.
Yeah.
And we had, there we go. Yeah, our winners were Insanity, Barbos, and Rhetoric. We had a little
I'm
bit of a new.
surprised to see Barbos there.
Yeah, Barbos was participating.
I'm surprised Insanity won. That's crazy.
Yeah, Insanity
What a
did
surprise.
well. Stuff
Yeah,
Not
came
the first
forward.
every round, but yeah.
Yeah, he was literally almost winning every single round. I think Barbos was like beating him
Yeah,
a couple.
Barbos had to like drove like an insane like pace one round. That
Yeah.
I think still is the world record.
Yep, he does with a 0.6.
Ah,
Yeah,
take that, Insanity. You may win, but you're not winning everything.
true. We also had, I think, 72 players max.
Yeah, I think 72, 73 players at
Yeah,
peak.
peak players, yeah. Which
Yeah.
is pretty good for Season 2. I was not expecting that many.
Like, I mean, I didn't. I was like, if I can get 50 players, I'm more than happy. Like, and then I thought like 73. I was like, what?
Yeah.
This many?
Especially since we've been rather quiet about it. I mean, we
Yeah.
announced that it was coming back, and then we promised to do the format, and then things happened, and we announced the format the day of the tournament. And Ven couldn't even be there because he was playing Valorant.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a bit unfortunate. When have the Valorant matches on Monday in the same time slot that Third Weekly is.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, TM players are craving competitions, and thankfully we might have a new competition coming up soon for a certain marginalized Trackmania community. I'm not gonna name names, but Dubby might be happy.
It's ice.
Yeah, it's
Hold.
Ice. Ice Weekly is coming back. No, it's not. Not yet, anyway. Definitely not full
It's
speed.
NASCAR.
Yeah, it's NASCAR. Yeah, we're bringing Softy is gonna be our first NASCAR mapper for the NASCAR Weekly.
I mean, to be fair, mapping NASCAR is not too difficult. I mean, mapping good NASCAR, obviously, but NASCAR in general is decently easy to map.
It's our new LOL competition. Keep guessing. Anyway,
Wait, League of Legends competition? Hell yeah.
no LOL maps.
I'm down. Fucking go
No,
wrong.
but we're gonna announce it soon, and yeah, I can already leak that it's gonna most likely be very fast maps.
Huh.
Yes, we're making a TM Island Cup. No. Yes, it's gonna be full speed weekly happening. Most likely. We just need a logo and everything, and then we're ready to announce it fully.
That makes me think. I never tried out what happens if you play around with the custom physics slots for backwards. What happens if you do that?
I was so ready to hear your Skidmark plugin again. I was
No. Yeah.
Well, that might be coming out soon, actually. Now that I think
Well,
about it.
don't ask me, but people are. I'm actually happy about people still making Reddit threads and asking about the plugin.
Well, Miss has been rather quiet
Sometimes.
about it, about the learning mode. She doesn't seem like she wants to roll it out anytime soon. 'Cause every time I bring it up, she's like, yeah, I thought about releasing it, but decided against it. I'm like, why? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of annoyed with seeing certain plugins still being used. For example, I don't know why, but it kind of annoys me that you can see that for some reason the information on your wheels having like how wet they are and how much the ice percentage is. That's for some reason fine, but isn't that kind of similar?
Beats me, honestly.
I don't know. Like, I feel like that's information you also shouldn't have in that sense. Then I don't know. But yeah, plugins. It's a difficult topic
Thought
anyway.
about restricting it, certain parts of it in dashboard.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, you also have the acceleration plugin that is similar, that is also used for full speed, which is
That old
obviously.
one, is that still working even?
Of course, there are multiple ones even, I think, but
Okay.
it's obviously way less powerful than what I did. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
by the way, Homer, since you're here and you mentioned it, thanks by the way for giving me the information needed to create it.
Wait, what did I do? What
Yeah,
information?
Oh, you
yeah, you
figured
remember
out that you could do change skits
that.
while the game is active, or while the game's
Yeah,
running.
I did not know that, and I only found out through Chroma streaming, and it was like, oh, he didn't, because I saw he didn't even restart his run, and I was like, huh, that works, and he was like, shorty, no, don't do it, and I started doing it.
I remember that stream actually.
Uh,
I
For some
remember that
reason,
one.
it sometimes works without restarting the map, and sometimes you have to. I don't know why.
I knew that at some point, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it was some weird stuff. I remember that if the file was already there and you just overwrite it, then it works fine. But if the file isn't there and instead of overwriting it, you're moving it into the empty, like if it was empty before and then you put it in, then for some reason it doesn't recognize it. So you have to literally overwrite the file instead of just moving one out and moving the other one in or something
Guess
like
that
that.
makes
I
sense.
don't know. There was some weird stuff. I tried. I know that because I played around a little bit with trying to make a plugin where you can have custom skid marks but still get the mods to work for you. And that's where I ran into exactly that issue, where it sometimes worked and sometimes didn't, and I didn't really find or was motivated enough to find a workaround.
It's
But
because texture mods, there's some blocks that don't reload their textures, or they like bug out completely when you change them on the fly. We
yeah,
noticed that when we were updating or working on the Evo texture mod, and yeah, it creates nice glitchy graphics when you change it, and the game tries to,
it looks horrible. It looks
it looks
funny
wonderful. Yeah,
and sometimes horrible.
that's what I mean. But yeah,
Yeah, sometimes it also looks funny without being horrible. At least
yeah,
I had that sometimes.
but yeah.
MMO Questmania.
Questmania when? Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully never.
Somebody recently said something about Questmania. I think it was even on the Trackmania Discord, and they said at this point it's more likely that somebody writes a custom game mode for TM 2020 that emulates an RPG than it is for Questmania to come out. And I tend
Is
to
it?
agree.
I mean, you could
I
you
don't know.
could do it.
Were you active back in the I don't know. When did you start playing the game, Shorty?
14 years ago or something like
There
that.
was a server controller that had exactly those features where you could buy like boosts and stuff, and you could like you would gain coins for your activity on the server, and you could like buy upgrades that would reduce your time on the scoreboard and stuff. I don't know if you remember that server controller. I don't even remember
No,
what
I
it was
don't.
called.
I mean, even if I would have known about it back then, and even now, I would have never played on it because I just don't like that. So
Yeah, it's like
maybe
one
if
of
I
those typical idle RPGs where
casual
or
stuff.
casual stuff where you just get like, oh hey, cool, my scoreboard there's like a little bit of a, it shows my time is lower than it actually is.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Never heard about that. Or at least I don't remember at all.
Yeah, I recently came across it again because somebody asked me if it was still available, if I wanted to recode it to, still
Yeah,
work
sure.
with modern PHP versions. And I was like, sure,
If
if
they
you give
pay
me
you
like
enough.
$500, I'll do it. But
Oh wait, 500. That's cheap.
yeah, I was thinking it's probably about 10 hours of work to update it to modern PHP.
Hmm. I mean, if it already is PHP,
Yeah, it is
then
PHP, but he was like,
yeah.
"Oh, I thought you could do it in like an hour or so. I would give you like $20." I'm like, "Yeah, no, no, thank you."
Yeah. Close.
That 30 last offer, okay, W, because it's you. If you give me those 30 euros personally at XP Evo, I will do it. Just for you. But you have to be there in person and look me in the eyes and give it to me in a handshake.
Too expensive, he says.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Next topic. Unless anybody still wants to talk something, say something about FS Weekly or Dirt Weekly while we're at it. Nobody?
I think Chroma is still in shambles and reliving the time with my plugin now.
Nah, see, your plugin is still fine. I'm just happy Figure's plugin is not out there that much, at least.
I mean, same.
Hjord Nadia is already investigating things to, Nadia's already oh yeah, we can talk about that briefly before we... Actually, that fits perfectly into the Trackmania documentation topic, so we can go into that now. So, actually, why am I going onto the scene? I'm an idiot. 1 second.
Right now, Deo's thinking about patching out the speed slides. Oh,
What?
finally.
No. Let's see. Okay, so actually, do we have another topic after this? After the documentation? I don't remember. That's fine, we'll find something. Anyway. Yeah, Trackmania documentation is now out. Where is it? There. So, they tweeted out yesterday, at Trackmania, that is. We're excited to present the new Trackmania documentation, available now on doc.trackmania.com. Many new pages, new design, new categories, new searching tool, many new things to discover. Many thanks to Evo, who managed this great project, and to the writers Chris92, Hank is me, to Infinite, Psy, XLRB, and Viking Joe.
Drake.
Yeah. So, this has been in the works for, I want to say, 4 months now? Nadia basically approached us about, hey, do you guys want to maybe help us on this little project? We want to improve our documentation or like help pages for newcomers to the game. And we did that, sort of. We got like 30 articles added. There is a bunch more still to do, and they also like started a quest for help. So if you wanna write some articles, you can look at it and then maybe help out. How much did we get for it? Not a single penny. No monetary rewards at all.
Exposure.
There have been some other trades for it, but I'm not at liberty to disclose that. But yeah, there's now an official page on how to report a player, for example. For all the people that still don't know that you can report a player in-game now. That's literally what they're saying, W. They approached us, they said, hey, we have the console release coming up, we need a handbook or we need like a documentation, and we literally don't have enough time to do so. That's why we said, okay, sure. And then you have like nice little information like what is a seasonal campaign, that you get end of campaign rewards, blah blah blah. Bunch of more pages, like how to create a club, how to join a club, what the different activities do, how to use the competition tool, what prestige skins are, how map review works, how the audio importer works, how to make parallax signs and stuff like that. Basically, the existing documentation just got expanded by a lot, and will get expanded over time, hopefully, and turn into like a proper guide.
Is it linked in game somewhere?
Yes, it is. In the main menu, there's a guy.
Oh.
There's literally a news article to new documentation thing.
Oh, but news article is gonna go away after some time, right?
It's not linked yet in game to my knowledge, but it's linked on the website. And
Yeah, but are console players are they
I
gonna
have
go on the
no
website?
clue. It's literally only linked like down here. If you go Also, my website is in German. I apologize because Nadio doesn't allow me to change the language on here. I think, or do they? Oh, they do. English. There you go. But yeah, resources documentation. It's really, it should literally be up here in the main menu as like FAQ or something.
Yes.
Did they put it as a news article? No, they didn't. But they put out a news on Steam as well and on Twitter.
I mean, that's good and all, but if they are doing it
it needs to be
for
linked
the
in
sort
game.
of console players, it should be in game and probably in the main menu or at the top bar.
Oh yeah, what
directly.
happens when I click on forum? That's a good idea, Hjort. Oh wait, access denied. Okay. Okay.
Does that also happen when I click on that link? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah.
What happened there?
New Trackmania documentation is now. Dude, there's a bunch of articles, and they still want a bunch more done.
It's
I'm gonna talk.
mainly just like menu stuff, right? Or like how to navigate the game.
Yeah.
Is there plans to like do tutorial stuff at all, or is it only?
If you give me
usage?
a second, I can tell you that right now. I have a list of like.
I mean, the parallax thing is a tutorial already, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a list of like 170 articles that they want to have. Oh no, it's 101, my bad. There's a list of like about 100 articles that they want to have. Some of those include like how to use the map editor, both gamepad and normal. How to create a royal map, how to submit a royal map to the review server. How to record and import a ghost into Media Tracker, how does the replay editor work, what is Mania script, that kind of stuff, but not really like any gameplay. Like, okay, there actually is a page called Gameplay Basics, there's another one called Special Effects in Trackmania, and the third one is called Driving Techniques. So yes, they do want to have sort of a tutorial.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah. They do have good intentions with this, at least.
I'm just imagining, console player, new player, plays the game. Then I want to get better. Then he's clicking on the link, driving techniques, drifting. Oh, you can drift around corners. And then he's going into the campaign and it's like, huh.
Then he can go into the training campaign where you actually need to drift on some of the maps.
He's just gonna start drifting around corners you don't need to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start drifting on full speed maps to trigger chroma.
Start drifting on plastic.
Yeah, true. That would be funny. No, but I think
have a lot of people figuring out, oh my god, I did a bug slide, or oh my god, I found a new technique, and then it's just a normal bug slide and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like in Rocket League, just someone finding out the same technique for the 50th time.
Yeah. And I wanna quickly answer Nevermind in the chat, who said, I really hope they actually improve the training joke of a campaign if they really want to cater for console or new players on console. I hope they do as well.
Yeah.
I think the documentation is a first step in the right direction of improving the new player experience and helping people find the information that they're looking for. Without having to sift through several YouTube videos or some buried thread somewhere in a Discord server where that thread might not even exist anymore, or a guide that now got deleted because it used to be on the Ubisoft Trackmania forums, which are no longer available. Like the guide on how to set up a Trackmania server yourself.
Yeah, it would have been nice to just convert those over into the new handbook. Would have saved some time, right?
I mean, we have an article. So the thing is, there has been a community initiative already, which is the wiki.trackmania.io website, which is run by us at Evo. There has been a community initiative to already write articles and stuff like that. Maybe not as generic as the Trackmania handbook goes, but that's actually what inspired Nadio to make this handbook. They were aware of it for quite some time and really liked what the people were doing on there. Like,
nice.
The guys they were writing, and they said they wanted to come to us because they knew we were managing the Trackmania IO wiki. So what does
It's pretty
Nadio
nice.
do? He do the stuff, you inspire them. We got something out of it. It might not be money, but we got something out of it that benefits both Nadio and us. Us being Evo. That is all I can say to that matter.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
mean, very nice. Very important to have something centralized where you can just literally go with anything and find something that is decent enough information for what you
Yeah.
need at that point. I mean, you don't have to go into like what the bug slide is and stuff like that in there directly, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, you still could, of course, but
they said if it goes like into too many specifics, we will be allowed to link to like third-party sites or YouTube guides. So
I mean,
if
you
there's
need
like
videos
really,
for
if
certain
if
things.
they really need specifics on speed slides, we would immediately link to like the FSFam website, which like has it laid out down to a T, or
Yeah.
like how to do certain things with the mesh modeler, which there's a ton of information already on the Trackmania IO wiki. Other things, but basically the Trackmania scenery hub put all of their information they had in the Discord into that wiki. So yeah.
That is nice. I mean, I remember watching some of their tutorials, and it's the mesh modeler and what you can do and everything. Also with Blender, I mean, that kind of needs its own place. It's way too complex.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do in the game, and I mean, thankfully they slimmed down a little bit on like the feature bloat that was Mania Planet. Because if you look at I think this documentation now already has more than the Mania Planet documentation ever had.
Probably. Yeah. I remember that one. It was very short and not.
Yeah, it doesn't even load anymore.
Let's just say it didn't satisfy my needs back then.
Nope, it really didn't.
Sadly, didn't.
Yeah, that is the Trackmania documentation. If you want to help out, I'm gonna link it in chat. The tweets. We can just go on to the GitHub, clone the repository, and then just, send a pull
So you're
request.
saying I can write an article about backwards driving?
Yes, you can, if you want to. And Nadia wants it in the documentation, you can. Just go ahead.
Maybe. I mean, I do have quite some free time.
Alright, it seems like we're going into Q&A with chat already. Oh no, before we go do that, this more fits into the delays topic, but we already passed that. I wanted to apologize to all our viewers and listeners for us not being around for like almost 3 weeks. There have
Yeah, that's
been...
really long.
Yeah. So, first of all, Import has had some real life stuff he had to take care of, or still has to take care of. Some stuff happened in his life that he needs to come to terms with, and his mental capacity just wasn't there. Shorty was sick for a while, is now better. Yes, he was sick after being sick for a while.
Yeah, I was normal sick, but horrible still. But yeah, normal sickness stuff.
Yeah, and then Lime got a new job, which unfortunately makes this time slot completely incompatible with her work schedule. She starts working at like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning and goes to bed at 6 p.m. So, dropped gears might no longer happen Thursdays. We don't know when yet exactly. For the foreseeable future, we will stick to Thursdays, but once we figure out a new time slot that Lime can participate in, so I can go back to being just a production guy, we will do that. So we'll keep you posted on our Twitter and our Discord. And yeah, while we're at it, our Discord invite URL changed. I forgot to change that in our commands. It is now discord.gg/Evo Esports. No longer Evo TM.
Is there a specific reason why it is Evo Esports now?
Because
or
we're trying to get Evo Esports on all social media platforms.
That's
I
not
mean,
what I
that's
meant.
the official
Yeah.
name, right?
I don't think we had talked about it on the podcast. What?
Yeah, we didn't. That's
Yeah.
what I
Oh,
wanted
we
to.
didn't.
Good segue,
Yeah.
shorty. Drake.
Wait. No, what? Were we really
No,
not
we
live
didn't.
for that long?
3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think
Or-
a
Have
few
we
weeks,
not
that was like-
announced that we're now a registered sports club?
Not on the podcast, at least. We didn't talk about
Okay.
that.
I
think.
guess we're not going into Q&A. We're going into yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Did we or did we not? I'm
I
the
don't.
wrong guy to
I
ask
don't
that, to be
remember.
honest.
I don't think we talked about it. No.
Nah, we just
don't
kept on
think-
shitting on the campaign last time.
True. Because it
And-
wasn't official yet. I mean, it was, but
wasn't.
it was, but we
It
didn't
was-
announce. It.
Exactly. I think that was it.
Hold on. When was the last? When did we do the last episode? Even was it like the 11th or something? I have no clue.
like a month ago, I think it happened.
Was it really a month? Did we not do a podcast for 3 weeks straight?
Yeah, 3 weeks. The
Yeah.
first week I was ill. The second week,
Yeah.
Lime had a new job already, and
Right,
stuff
didn't but we
happened.
did one in between, no, with me there, I thought.
No, I think
We definitely did one
wanted-
where it took over. Oh no, and then we we did 2 weeks of break. Okay. Anyway, I don't think we've talked about it on a podcast. So yes, on the 16th of April, Ama was the last podcast, right?
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah, that is a while ago.
Yep.
So yeah.
The one where we got cancelled. That's the real reason why they
True.
are away.
So
Yeah.
since we didn't do this yet, let's do it here. We're now a registered sports club in Germany called Evo Esports. Yes, we took the plunge. We're now a legal entity, and that's why we're changing our name everywhere, and already changed it twice in game. We're getting rid of the EV in the end because we don't need to have it in the name, so don't get used to seeing that. It's just the legal entity short handle thing, like LLC stuff kind of deal. But yeah, we're now officially Evo Esports. And what does that mean for us? Well, first of all, we can get sponsors. Hey, if you want to sponsor us, we're open for any sponsors, also for this podcast. So if you want us to promote your product, maybe like some audio equipment, we would be down to do that. Please contact us. Thank you. But yeah, no. What it mainly allows us to do is, first of all, have sponsors.
I mean, easier. Technically, we could have had sponsors before, but sponsoring someone that is not
it's
a legal entity
very
is just-
difficult because it would
Yes.
have to have gone through. Let's just say the way we got One Shot Energy as a partner was very difficult and convoluted, and I don't want to go through it again. Thank you. So yeah. It basically gives us more opportunities to host events, to compete in Trackmania and other games, and also grow as a community, first and foremost. Because that's what we're here for, is for the community. I mean, everything we do is for the community. We host events for the community. We host servers for the community. We do a podcast because we care about this game, and
Do we?
do we? Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes I wish I didn't care about this game, but sadly I
Trust
do care
me,
about this game,
that's
and I
how-
can't get away from it.
Yeah, that's how I've been feeling for a while now, but yeah. It also helps us with XP Evo, which, good news upcoming in June. Beginning of June, is when we can talk more about XP Evo. All I can say for now. Please stay tuned. But then we can talk about everything like ticket sales, blah 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 blah. Yeah, early June. Stay tuned. Yeah, so we're now an official sports club in Germany, legal entity. Well, that comes all the, fun part of having to work for German bureaucracy, which is basically what I've been dealing with for the past 2 months. Or more. Right now I'm going through the fun process of opening a bank account for us. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Is it that difficult opening a bank account? Or?
No, we just couldn't decide on which bank we're going with.
Oh,
Because they all have like different stipulations and different values for us. Like,
yeah, and it's gonna be different for a legal entity compared to a single
yeah,
person.
of course,
right?
you need. I mean,
Yeah.
there's we could either go with a regular business account, or there's banks that offer an actual bank account for sports clubs specifically, with like specific offerings for the sports club. Has there been any other registered Orcs esports clubs that was purely built up in Trackmania? Not to my knowledge.
I would say no.
Actually, yes. There was
Really?
one. But they don't exist anymore.
Oh, Paragon, right?
Was Paragon sports club?
I don't know.
No, I was
If they were
talking
a legal
about
entity
what
brought in
Split used to be with that Czech Slovak entity. They were a sports club in the Czech Republic. I'm pretty sure. What were they called? The one where the founder was found out to be a misogynistic asshole? Iconia, thank you. Yes.
Huh?
What? What did I miss?
Wait,
Yeah, same.
you completely missed that Iconia disbanded because their founder was an idiot and did some stupid comments on the Trackmania subreddit about, was it the Women's Racing League, I think?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even hear the name Iconia before.
I miss drama. Oh man,
Yeah, that was like some months. It was like 2 or 3 months ago already.
really mad.
Yeah. Anyway, they were a sports club. And faculty back then was a German sports club.
Oh,
They were an EFL, but
but
they didn't get
only
founded.
have
Yeah, they didn't.
Trackmania.
No. I think their main game was Counter-Strike, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was.
What else was there? Were there any other big orgs? Isuba, yes. I mean, Isuba, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, but they also only picked up a Trackmania team after they already existed.
Are you sure?
Wait, why should I say sorry? Sorry.
I mean, there's probably a few orgs that went the way of, like, starting a legal, like a sports club or, like, legal entity. But I would say none of them actually had the reach that we do. And, like, hadn't that big of a following.
But at least they didn't really grow with Trackmania and where Trackmania focused.
Yeah. Is Molotov a legal entity yet? I thought they weren't. Because that's why Chloe helped the other 2 players find an organization, right? Because else they would have... No, not Molotov. What am I talking about? Either way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it doesn't. Anyway, what this does is, like, lets us talk to sponsors, have sponsors, provide better and get more funding for bigger and better events, and just invest more back into the community, and also expand into other games as we're now doing with Valorant, and hopefully PS2 if everything goes right. If everything goes right, but no promises. We're
How
looking
about a
into it.
table tennis club?
Yeah,
have one
Shorty,
member,
if you buy us or if you pay for the table tennis hall, sure.
Yeah, easy. No,
And
no
then you move
problems.
down here to Passau, and then you become our table tennis teacher. Sure.
Why would
Yeah.
you play a normal table tennis when you can play table tennis on Wii Sports Resort? That is my
Actually, I saw that tweet Chroma, and you would have no chance at all.
question. Dude,
against
I
me.
am cracked at that.
Yeah, same.
Okay, that's one show match we have for XP Evo for the stream. Okay.
I mean,
Hands down, it's so underrated. It's such a good game.
that game was really well made, and I say that even though I play proper table tennis. So, yeah, pretty
That
good.
game was actually pretty good, yeah.
Considering how old it is, you know.
I mean, it's Wii Sports. It's a classic.
Yeah, actually, Wii Sports was so much fun. You can literally still just open up get your Wii out and still play Wii Sports and have fun with any game of it.
Yeah.
That's just so fun, that game holy.
Yeah. Like also the training modes where you could kind of compete and stuff. Oh, what a game.
But yeah, one more thing, since I saw the question before the stream even started. Somebody was asking about a merch shop. As soon as we have the bank account and our tax ID figured out, we will have a merch store open. That's also one of the reasons why we wanted this legal entity. They could offer you guys a merch store. So yeah, coming soon, TM. Maybe sooner than the console release. No, I don't. I don't think sooner than the console release, but soonish. Once we have a date, we'll announce it.
We're gonna get rich. I mean, you are gonna get rich.
Not really, because all that money goes
Nah.
back into the club. We don't earn a single cent.
Basically, yes. I mean, you have to because
Yeah,
it's
none of us
that's how-
admins earn a single penny doing this.
yeah.
Car skins? Maybe.
Skins. Why would you pay for that? You can just rip them easy in Trackmania.
Nah. We'll see.
Can you make a cover for my phone? That would be pork. Imagine having an Evo phone cover.
Probably not, because those
Probably.
things are very custom. Like, wait, can't you just
Shorty,
go to like?
Just do this.
Can't you
do
just-
this with your phone case? What is?
No.
Yeah, but I can't.
Can't you just
Not-
go to Dbrand and like upload your own images?
Maybe Dbrand works for my phone. I had like one company I used before where my new phone that I have, they haven't that listed, so I can't use that.
Well, the thing is, Snippin,
But
to offer them in the merch store, we would need like, I think if they have them available, it's only for a few models, and they're like very expensive because you need to order like 300 of them or something upfront to even be able to sell them.
I mean, I wasn't serious, obviously.
And the other things that we're selling on the merch store are all like made to order. So big
I mean,
difference.
you're gonna obviously start with like t-shirts and hoodies and
T-shirts and
caps
hoodies, yeah.
like that, right? Yeah, like that's the
Caps
basic
we
stuff.
still need to look into if we can sell our Evo caps. We don't know yet. That's something we're looking into.
Yeah, I mean, at first you even have to find out if it's worth it running the shop, which obviously you don't.
I mean,
yet.
the shop runs itself, right? We don't have any extra costs from it. They handle the shipping, they handle the printing. It's just, we make parts of it. We we create the designs, and then we get a share of the profits.
Nice.
Yeah.
In that case,
Poster would be nice.
No cases, Shorty.
yeah, I'm looking at it. They can't. I mean, there are cases, but I can't upload my own image.
That is weird.
No,
Anyway,
it's not weird. It's sad.
yeah, I'm sure there's stores where you can create your own ones.
Yeah. Anyway, not important.
Talking about Import's gonna be back next week on the podcast, which is nice.
Pork.
Yeah, maybe he has
After
a
getting
stash again.
cancelled, nice.
No, he didn't get cancelled. Amma got himself cancelled though, almost.
Wait, what?
Nah, Amma was being chill. Oh.
I mean, literally, Arma was the
Oh,
least
Import
controversial.
was Import even here when Amma was here? I don't remember.
Yes, he
Yeah, he
made
was.
sure I like to be here.
All right, yeah. I don't even remember things. My memory's so bad recently.
I mean, to be fair, we kind of invited Arma, so Arma is getting cancelled instead of us, but then Arma was just silent most of the time and we just went ham.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
It's like Pally is being silent the entire day. What is wrong, good sir?
Yes.
Go, Pally, say something controversial.
Yeah. Go get yourself
I
canceled.
don't
We've all done it before.
No.
Say something like "Dirt sucks," so Forever can will never join your Dirt Weeklies again.
But he didn't join the first time around. He didn't join.
Yeah,
So
Forever, where were you on Monday? We were expecting you, and Mime, and Elcon. Please explain yourself.
And Granadi, and Dexter, and Lars, and Mario just plays everything, so he probably
No,
played.
we were just expecting third players to be there for Dirt Weekly, but Forever never even replied to my DM about it. Really mad.
Can I be controversial?
Sure.
Okay. So Full Speed has by far the highest skill ceiling in the game, and if you don't think so, you're
Okay,
clueless.
that's it for
GG.
the podcast. Thank you for coming. Chroma's never gonna be back here. Anyway.
Thank you. Thank you
No.
for listening.
Yeah. We're gonna go into Q&A with chat. So if you have any questions for us, put them in chat now, and we might answer them or not. We don't know. We'll see.
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe not. That is incorrect, CD. It does include it.
See, one of those is correct, Carp.
The question was, why does the current public release of the documentation not include pages for the competition tool? They are there. You're just blind. I'm gonna show you right now. They are definitely there. Hold on.
What do you think is the most skillful style to master? Oh, that is easy actually to answer. It's multi-style. Ha.
Is multi-style like... It's not
If
mixed,
you-
right? It's like the 4 styles cup, stuff like that? Or what do you mean?
I just mixed style. Just basically everything.
Fair.
See, CD, they're there. They're under Club Activities Competition Tool. Because they're a club activity. So yeah. They're definitely there. It's just blind, as I mentioned.
Bro, W just wrote, bro, and Techie just break, what the fuck, W, and Full Speed you just steer, what the fuck, you don't even use break. Obviously, using 4 buttons is more difficult than 3. I mean, using 2, because you don't even have to use the acceleration, you can just auto-accelerate.
I mean, I will say for a fairly newer player, Tech and Ice probably more of the harder styles to get into as a new player. But yeah,
Getting into it, probably,
Yeah,
like Ice or Tech, because Tech is also really difficult to get into.
I feel like Tech... maybe...
I mean,
I think
technically,
Tech
Full
is
Speed
more
is-
difficult.
Technically, full speed is also really hard to get into because at the beginning you have to make speed slides in a way where speed sliding is faster than not doing the speed slides. Like that's
Yeah,
kind
but
of the first hurdle.
is that getting into it though? I feel like getting into full speed is just driving the map, and that's not hard for the most part.
I mean, sure, if you count that as playing full speed, for me that's not. I wouldn't count that because you're not playing it proper.
I
Like
think
for me, getting
with,
into it, you have to start doing it the proper
Yeah.
way.
I think with Ice, at least for me, it was like pretty like intuitive. If you understood, okay, you turn 90 degree and counter steer, and then you use accelerator and brake to steer. If you just have that information, some will find it pretty intuitive from the get go, and some will just not be able to do that.
yeah,
think
I'm
it's
just
half and half.
clueless on Ice. I'm just Ice. Nah, no, I'm out.
The main problem I have with ice is just physically, because sometimes I know I have to do a certain brake tap to adjust my line, but the amount of the brake tap is so short, I just physically can't do it.
Oh
So
yeah,
it then
somehow
over brake.
sometimes
that's-
I can do pretty short ice taps, but I can see that issue.
For me, it's just different. Like I can be pretty fast on ice, but consistency is just 0, basically.
I feel
But I'm not
like
slow.
Ice is definitely the most unfriendly to beginners because it's so counterintuitive of what you have to do actually to like compared to
Well,
any other style.
Tech also is because I mean,
No, in
if
tech
we had,
you can just slow down and brake and then drive around the corners normally. You don't need to
if
drift.
we if if we speak about people actually drifting. Because finding out how to actually drift and not just, break and no slide, then that is really difficult and counterintuitive. The fact that you have to be already steering for like 1 or 2 seconds before you can start holding the brake,
It's more like
and then
half a
having
second.
any control whatsoever about it. Yeah, it's half a second, but having any sort of control about that is so counterintuitive as well. It just doesn't make sense. Kinda. Like if you compare it to any other racing game at all, it just doesn't make sense at all. I mean, Ice also kinda, not really, but
Yeah, I guess. But I would still think that Ice is like the most, the least new player or welcoming one for new players. Tech and I think full speed. I would agree with Chroma that it's probably the most approachable one for newcomers. You can just drive the map and you go fast, and
Looks cool.
it looks cool. And then you can even
Yeah.
have shitty
That's just-
maps like Fun Speed and Speed Fun, with the fake full speed maps, as I like to call them. People still find them fun to drive. I mean, if you look at TMNF, that's literally all people drive there now. All of the 70, 80, and 90k servers are literally just fun speed maps.
I mean, it's just the easiest
That
to
look
get
like a
into, for
5-year-old
sure.
built them. I'm sorry, they're fucking boring. Yeah. Tech definitely is tricky. I feel like hard to say, honestly. It's been a while.
I have something to say that's
Yeah,
gonna piss
go.
off someone for sure, and I'm just gonna say it to piss him off, not because I actually think it, because I have no idea. But let's be honest, guys. I mean, backwards is just way more difficult than full speed.
I mean, I can see
At the
that.
highest level,
I
yes.
don't know. I literally don't know, and I don't care.
At the highest level, I would agree, honestly.
Thing is, we don't know yet because I think
Yeah.
Nobody's
the
really
skill ceiling is not even close, right?
Yeah.
To being like, I don't think there's an actual really really good backwards player yet
Orphan.
because it's just such a. No, but I still think he's not like he isn't of course insanely cracked at backwards, but I still think there's so much more possible, right?
We also haven't
but
really
show
explored
us.
backwards as a style yet. That's the thing.
Exactly, it's so underdeveloped.
That's such a niche part of Trackmania backwards.
It's just like NASCAR, but better.
You know what? You're saying Ice is the most difficult to get into. I'm saying backwards is the most difficult to get into because people even refuse to try driving backwards. They just turn around.
True. True. Sort of.
The good old review times.
Plastic, actually, is, in my opinion, also tricky to get used to.
Really?
Like, good
I'd
plastic
say grass is the easiest.
I'd say the way they build plastic is just super easy. It's just full speed, kind of. I mean, not really full speed in the sense of, how full speed as a style works, but the maps are built super easy.
I mean, have you played the community campaign or seen it being played?
No.
That had that plastic map in like 03 or 04. It had, I think, one of the easier ATs of that entire campaign. That was, I still think that it's not intuitive because you have grip, but not really. It's a bit weird to get used to. And yeah, I would agree that probably dirt and grass are the most approachable ones, for sure. And maybe full speed right on that. Yeah, gears on plastic are just a nightmare.
Yep. Definitely.
Gears are just a nightmare, like in general. So
True, gears are a nightmare, but yeah, I just can't.
That's why we drop them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I definitely do.
I mean, once you know them, you just can't ignore them. That's the sad part. Because every time you hear car just gear down, my heart just sinks a bit, and it's...
I mean, you don't even have to hear it, you just feel it.
Yeah,
You just
true.
feel slow.
Alright, do we have any other questions in chat? Subby says we're coping about FS Chroma with the meta jokes. Sound off is the best way to play. Ham Daddy, get the way out of here. You know, just get out of here. No.
First couple of years I played, I actually used to play sound off. Then one random day, Kayan joined the server. I asked him, I was like 14 years old, I asked him if he's playing with sound on or off. He said sound on, changed sound on, continued.
Actually, wait, that's
I
a
mean-
good question. In competitions, do you have music on or no?
Both. I tried both, and what I figured out at some point when I'm in the like nowadays I just do without, but for some times I did. Like I remember, for example, in the Nest or in Gamers Assembly back then I did use it, but there were matches where I turned it off because if you're in the focus and if you're playing well, then the music helps because the music helps you stay in focus and not think too much about playing, which is kind of what you want to do. Weirdly enough, you don't want to, full focus on the game. You want to kind of let your brain just do things normally how you trained it and not overthink it. Which
Actually,
helps if you have music, but if you're playing bad, the music just completely kills it. Like you can't refocus with the music.
I actually
me.
thought I couldn't play matches or like very focused with music on, but then I noticed if I actually warm up with music on, then it's better to keep the music on. So it's always decided if I warm up with music or without, I just keep that.
Yeah, if you're in the mood, it helps. But once,
Yeah.
like when you have a match where just like maybe one or two better rounds, and and that throws you off, then the music makes it more difficult getting back into it. At least that was what I felt. Like I was playing and I was just listening to the music instead of playing. Then I just zero focus. I just always had to turn off music at that point then and continue and try to refocus that way.
Oh yeah, that is a interesting question from W. What kind of music are we talking about? Because he thinks the kind of music that Birdie's playing on his stream wouldn't help your concentration whatsoever.
I
Kind
think
of
like
music is Birdie listening to.
I mean, I just think it just depends on what
Yes.
type of music you're listening to normally.
Hardcore techno,
Just-
trance, that kind of stuff. Psytrance, hard style. That's what Beer is listening to. 200
Mhm.
BPM
I like
plus.
techno and psytrance for matches. Just like monotone hype stuff, I guess. Works.
It needs to be something where it's kind of for you enough in the background where you don't notice, new songs starting or stuff like that. I feel like if it's just one genre, then it's fine. But I think what you wouldn't be able to do is have like multiple genres mixed, where like one song is like really pumped up and the other is just not. I think that would definitely kill your focus. But if you just always listen to hardstyle, always on the stream, always hardstyle, then probably hardstyle works for you.
Talking about songs, did you guys notice that there is a new song in the rotation in game?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah. There's a... So, Trackmania added an intro video with the latest update. And that...
Actually, still haven't seen that.
yeah.
They
and,
also did something else in the latest update, but we didn't talk about that, so maybe.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
let's
talk
not
about it
do that.
because I know certain people's opinion on it, and I'm not gonna bring it up.
I think that's just dumb.
Yeah. Basically, they added that song to the rotation, and now it trips me up every time I hear it. And it's not on Spotify yet. I'm really mad. They need to add it to Spotify because it's actually a banger. It is
Oh.
really good.
Good to know. Maybe next time I play Trackmania, I'm gonna turn the music on.
Just listen to or watch the intro video, then you can hear the song.
But I want to hear the full song. Nah, maybe not.
It's up on YouTube somewhere already.
Oh, okay. I'll search it.
When Evo produced music, W,
The secret Chroma SoundCloud.
maybe at some point, but not today. Because I think we've reached the end of the podcast. Unless there's any more questions, which I'm not seeing in chat. Yeah. So, any last comments from either of you? Chroma, let's start with you.
was fun being on. I apologize for disappearing twice, but I'm also, I'm a bit tired. But it's fun. I'll be glad to come back on if maybe if there's like a full speed topic. I'll gladly hop back on if the option is there. It was fun.
Thanks for joining us today. It was fun.
Thanks for inviting.
Yes, XP Evo will still be in Cologne, same location that we already announced. Yeah. Hallie.
And also, someone asked about Tona being on. I think the
Yes.
plan is that potentially next week.
Yes. Once we have confirmed the date with Tona, we will let you guys know in our Discord and on Twitter. Hallie, final thoughts.
Yeah, it was really fun to be on today. And again, if I'm down to be on again in the future. Oh,
Yeah, maybe a topic where you can actually talk a little bit more. I feel like you didn't really get the chance.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, it was kind of like last minute. I got a chance to drop in.
True.
Yeah, it was
It's still fun.
Kind of last minute. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for talking about Dirt Weekly. And don't forget to join on Monday again, 8 p.m., an hour after Cup of the Day in the Evo Club. Dirt Weekly room. Yep. And Shorty, as always, you have the final words.
Yeah,
actually, I
listening.
do, but...
Wow. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Nah. Say your final thoughts is what I meant.
Oh, final thoughts. I had fun. I'm glad that we finally got to make an episode again after we had this 3-week hiatus. And yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope the people listening on Spotify and all the other podcast apps also enjoyed it. And see you next time.
Yep.
Hopefully
with what?
Tona.
Oh, with Tona, yes, hopefully.
Because I'm looking forward to it.
And hopefully without me. I don't know. We don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.